Coming up on Keep It Positive, Sweetie. We live in a culture where everyone is trying to teach, have all these courses and things like that. How did you cultivate your course to make sure that people understood it's not a scam? Because there's our people out here really scamming people. How did you like really build that and say, I'm gonna keep this integral and make sure that I'm teaching people and that they get what they need out of it?
I used the same mentality that we had in the streets. It was give it away for free.
Wow. Wow.
Give it away for free. And if it's good for free, they'll pay for it.
Hi, I'm Renee Hayslett, and this is Keep It Positive, Sweetie, a safe space to heal, laugh, grow, and love. In last week's show, I talked about creating and maintaining a money-making mindset with Camille Rose, founder and CEO, Janelle Stevens, and serial entrepreneur, The Wall Street Trapper. My conversation with The Wall Street Trapper was so layered, it took us a little extra time to get through it all. So this show is a continuation of that conversation. But before we dive back in, here's another glance at how I put my look together. So getting into today's look, I am wearing a fitted denim dress. I have the Attico pump with a pop of color, little mirrors on it. It's really dope. Shout out my stylist Ashley for this. And of course, I'm rocking the curls. A nice wash and go is always the go-to for an easy day. You are world renowned for your financial tips. My brother actually called me, it was a few years ago. I didn't even know who you were. He called me, he said, hey sis, like probably during COVID.
Okay.
He's like, I want to learn about stocks and bonds and about finance. And he was like, there's this guy named Wall Street Trapper. And I paid for him, did not know you, but I paid for him to take classes so that he could learn more. And then later on, we had mutual friends and I was like, that's the guy. And he was like, yeah, I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, where did that even come from? Like to learn about finances and then to say, hey, I want to spread this and teach people.
Yeah, I'm in prison. I had just made 17.
Wow.
And I'm staring down a 10-year bid. And I wound up having this fight with this guy, my two guys. So it was me and two guys. And then the CO came and, we go to solitary confinement. They put me in a cell with this white dude. And I'm so frustrated because I thought they was my homies. Yeah. But I realized quick that in prison, like, nah, that don't work like that.
Really? There ain't no, okay.
Yeah, it don't work like that. And the guy looked at me with like pure frustration.
The white guy?
And he was like, man, y'all playing the wrong game. Now, mind you, we in prison, so like you in here with me, so you must be playing the same game I'm playing.
What game you talking about, right?
What you talking about? So he was like, no. He was like, how much time you got? And I had just got my 10 years. He was like, what you doing 10 years from? Like a 10 murder on robbery. He was like, how much money you got from it? And I was like, it wasn't about the money. He was doing 18 months for embezzlement. $2.8 million. He paid $800,000 restitution. He was able to keep $2 million. And he said, if I go home, I can do this again. And they'll only give me 5 years next time. You'll still be doing the 10 years.
Wow.
And I said, so show me how to play that game. Right? And he was like, nah, it's not about that. He was like, the game of life. And it's something about when you hear intelligence, it'll put you at a stand. It paralyzed me. And the one thing about prison is anybody can tell you anything until they show you the paperwork. So he showed it to me in black and white, and I had never saw 7 figures on a piece of paper like that.
Yeah. Wow.
And I said, dang. So he said, listen. He said, wealthy people stop trading time for money. They learn how to make their money work for them, and they learn how to give value to people because people will always be the asset. And So like that didn't make sense to me because I never had heard it before. Like,
Yeah.
man, I'm from street nigga, man. What you talking about, man?
Right.
Value the people. They buying some dope or what, dog?
Right. Right.
And
How we
then,
flipping these
yeah,
birds
what we doing? Like,
from
what you
prison.
doing, bro? Like, what you talking about?
Right.
And then he said, the 3 things that wealthy people do is they invest in stocks because it's the easiest way to build wealth. Mm-hmm. They create a business because a business allows you to put a product in the marketplace. Mm-hmm. And they buy real estate because real estate allows you to beat taxes. Mm-hmm. He said, if you learn those 3 things, wow, you'll make more money than you ever made in your life, and you'll be free. And I was like, okay. And he was showing me pictures, and I remember this 1999, so there's no Instagram.
Yeah.
These are Polaroid pictures of him in places like Iceland. And I remember this blew my mind. I'm a little dude, skinny dude from the hood. And him and his family were in this pond with steam coming from it and mountains behind it. Yeah. And I was like, bro, like that's real?
Yeah, right.
Like how could, like that didn't match to me. How could they have mountains and y'all sitting in this water and you're not freezing to death?
Right.
He was like, no, there's a place called the Blue Lagoon and it's in Iceland.
Yeah.
I was like, Iceland? That's a real place?
Right.
I'm straight out the hood. I ain't been out of New Orleans too much, right?
Yeah.
And so he was like, this is what money gets you. Yeah. And so the rest of my time, I learned about the stock market. I was reading, I remember my first book was Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it was a financial literacy. It was like a mindset about money. Yeah. And that kind of just changed my mind on, yo, there's people that's really moving. Because in my mind, if you was rich in America, you was selling dope or doing something crooked.
Yeah. But it's
and I was like, it's a whole nother game out here. And so when I started looking at the stock market, I started realizing that, yo, these people are making tons of money off us being consumers. So we really junkies.
Yeah. Ooh. Wow.
And that's how the market started making sense to me. I started putting it in street terminology.
Exactly. Okay.
And so once I realized that, oh, the real gangsters ain't us on the street. The real gangsters is the dudes in boardrooms, the dudes that's building these businesses, the dudes that's building businesses to make laws that benefit their businesses. Yeah. I said, checkmate. I ain't never been a dumb nigga.
I might have made a mistake.
I might have made something, but I ain't never been dumb.
Yeah, right.
Right? So I'm like, I bet. And so I just spent the rest of my time just reading everything I could about it. I done got in a whole bunch of fights in prison about trying to watch the stock market while they trying to watch The Young and the Restless. Yeah. I'm like, bro, y'all not tired of watching Victor Newman, bro? Right. Like, come on, bro. Miss Chancellor ain't died yet, dog. Like, what we doing here?
No. Yo, them people
been there.
Yes.
So I was like, bro, we've been watching Jabot and Abbott Cosmetics forever, bro. Like, I'm tired. And so I would just get in fights, but it was worth it. And so when I came home, I still ain't get it right.
Wow. What happened when you got home?
I got back in the streets. Because it's a thing to have an idea, but to come home into the real world and execute that idea. Yeah. It's a whole new ball game. Yeah. And so when people be like, why this dude going back to the streets? He ain't tired of going to jail. It ain't that a person ain't tired of going to jail.
Oh, you know.
That's all they know.
Yeah.
That's all they got the tools for.
Yeah.
That's the thing that make them feel like somebody.
Right. Yeah.
It's what makes them feel like they have control of their destiny, even though it ain't right.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm back in the streets, and the police wound up kicking in my door. They got 10 pounds of weed, a 40 with an extended clip and a beam, a 223, 100 X pills, and a pint of lean. And I was like, yep,
this is it.
I'm going out like this.
Yeah.
Here's the crazy part. When they kicked my door in, I wasn't in the house. They brought me to the house. The stock market was on. And I never forget this man telling me, you got to be a stupid nigga to be watching the stock market and still selling dope. Yeah. Something ain't clicking right for you. You belong in jail. Wow. I said, damn. And in my mind, I said, God, he not right.
I don't belong there.
I don't belong there. I was only home 2 years. God was with me. They kicked in the door with no search warrant. It took me about 50 grand to fight those charges. Yeah. I got found out guilty under what's called fruit of a poisonous tree, which means if you find something illegally, everything is no good.
Yep.
And I said, all right, God, this it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go legit.
So what did that look like? Because I'm interested, like, did you use like the dope money to like?
Yep, so I had a
like,
little bread left,
yeah.
and I still ain't get it though.
Really?
Nah, because I didn't have enough money.
Okay.
So me and my partner started robbing. We started robbing dope boys. Because, you know, there's certain rules I learned in the game. And it was like 9 to 5 people are off limits. They ain't signed up for that.
Wow. Yeah, but
But
if
if you in the street,
I see what you're saying.
you signed up for. A shark don't care if it eat a tuna fish, a guppy, it don't matter. A lion will kill a gazelle and it'll kill a gazelle puppy.
Sure.
It's part of the game. And I was willing to face whatever came with that. I've been shot, I've been stabbed, I almost got put in the trunk before, almost got kidnapped. I done been in it all. It's nothing you can tell me about the streets that I haven't done.
Are you gonna do a movie?
That's why I got you.
Hey.
That's why I got you. You can listen, God making connections here.
Yes,
right? And
because I'm like, I'm already seeing, I'm like,
yeah,
this is a movie.
let's go.
Yes.
And so me and my partner we started robbing dope boys. We started jacking them. We started traveling and doing it because I was a thinker, so I knew how to put it together.
Wow.
I knew how to put it together, and then we hit this one lick and we missed a couple steps, and the dude had a 12 gauge to the back of my head.
Oof.
And I was like, damn, I'm about to go out like this.
Like this,
And
yeah.
I remember just saying, God, forgive me.
Yeah.
If I gotta go like this, I gotta go like this.
Yeah.
But I don't
Being
want to
at
go
the,
like this.
like facing death like that.
And that wasn't the first time.
Like what in those moments where, well, I mean, I guess it wasn't that traumatizing because you continued to do things that would put you back in that position. But I think about like if somebody had a gun to my head, I don't know if I would do it again. Like I don't think if I put myself
that
back
come
in
with
that.
the game.
Okay. Yeah.
It's kind of like a person working a job and they know they're gonna get fired.
Yeah.
At some point. Like, all right, let me just get another job.
Yeah.
The only time you think about getting out the streets is when you're in a situation where it's life or death.
Yeah.
But after you get past that situation, you're like, bro, this is all I know. And my partner came, and my partner, God bless his soul, he passed away maybe a couple years later from sickle cell. I remember him telling the dude, and it only took about 7 to 8 seconds. He said, listen, if you shoot my homie, there's gonna be 3 dead people right here. You gonna die, your homie gonna die, my homie gonna be dead. And I'ma still get all the bread.
Yeah.
So the best thing for you to do is let my homie go, and we'll let the money go. We'll call it even.
Yeah.
And I just remember the dude putting the gun down.
Ooh.
And I remember leaving, and the money we did have, I gave it to my dog. I said, bro, I'm done.
Yeah.
I said, man, I can't do this no more, dog. And my dog was like, man, you tripping, man. Man, you know this part of the game. This ain't, you done saved my life. I done saved your life. I'm like, yeah, dog, but I done did 10. I done been in multiple shootouts. I done got shot. I done got found out guilty. And now this, bro. Like, bro, I can't keep beating the game.
Yeah. Because eventually it's going to beat you.
I can't keep beating the game. And I said, bro, I ain't ready to die, dog. I said, bro, you can have it.
Yeah.
And that was the last time, like,
Wow.
I was like, I'm good. And so I started working as an iron worker. I started taking that serious. I learned how to weld. I learned how to, like, I built the Falcon Stadium out here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Built the Falcon Stadium, built a stadium in Minnesota, built some of Texas A&M. I was building a lot of plants and power plants in like outside of New Orleans. And I was still making hustle money. I was making like $2,500 to $3,000 a week. And so I said, all right, this reminds me of dope money. I said, I'm gonna take the stock market serious.
Okay.
And
What
so
year was this?
2014.
Okay.
So I really was telling my homies about it heavy. And I remember telling them like, bro, like, you know, we buying this Louis Vuitton, bro, that's on the stock market, LVMH. Like, dog, we buying these iPhones, it's on the stock market. We buying Nike, we buying Dickies and Timberlands, that's on the stock market. We buying alcohol, it's on the stock market. And I remember one day, my homies, we went to the club and they bought this Hennessy and I had the Fendi on. And I said, y'all know the same company own this.
Yep.
And they was like, all right, and so you gotta make it make sense.
The way you're looking at everything.
It's different.
Yeah.
Everything
they
had
are
done
part
changed.
of like thinking, you're like, okay.
And I'm telling them, y'all making me money. You bought another bottle,
Appreciate
you
it.
made me some money.
Yeah.
And so I remember telling my homie one day, I said, bro, we gonna get killed. We don't even got life insurance. Let's at least have our money in the stock market.
Yeah, wow.
So that when we die, we at least give our kids something.
Yeah.
And the one thing that really made sense to me was when the police kicked my door in, they took my truck, they took my money that was in my bank account, they took the money that was on my dresser and all that, but they didn't touch my money that was in the stock market. I said, I ain't never been a stupid nigga. And so that from there, I really started taking it serious. 2019, I quit the job. They wanted me to cut my beard. And I was like, man, I ain't cut my beard, man. Y'all tripping.
The welders?
Yeah, because
really?
I was working in a plant.
Okay.
And they wanted us to go in this segment of the plant where you had to wear this mask.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, man, get somebody else to do that. I'm not doing that. And it was like, nah, we need you to go because you can weld overhead. I was like, man, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And so I said, man, look, just pack my stuff. I'm good. And I was like, I'm all in on the market.
Wow.
And then a friend of mine, she had made the first $1 million with this hair care product. And so she wanted to put her money in the market and she didn't trust a financial advisor. So I was like, man, look, put your money right here, put your money right here, buy this stock, get rid of all that they got you doing.
Wow.
And so I said, go asking. And she came back and she was like, yo, you need to teach us that on Instagram because that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I don't want to hear nothing about that. And so one of my partners who was at As a Man Think, his name Greedy, he told me, he said, dog, you really just a nerd in a street nigga body.
Wow. So the way you took everything you learned in prison and then made mistakes again after you got out, but then flipped it. How did like everything take off once you put it on Instagram?
So my partner told me something that was dope. He said, there's so many people that want to invest in the market that they don't talk to.
Yeah.
You the bridge, dog.
Wow.
And so when I first started doing it, my goal was just to get dudes in the street out the street. It was the girls who I know was dancing and stripping to get them out of the club. Wow. Because a lot of them was losing their life. They was, you know, New Orleans, like a thing in New Orleans is, I don't know how it is in other places, but getting kidnapped, putting a person in a trunk and burning them, that's a thing in New Orleans.
Really?
Yeah, that's a thing. So many girls that I knew and so many dudes was meeting that fate. And I was like, yo, like, this how we get out the game, dog. But the thing about us is you can't teach us something if it ain't working for you.
Yeah.
Right? And so in the beginning, nobody was listening to me. But once they saw it change my life,
They need to see proof.
they was like, okay,
Okay, we believe you now.
we believe you now.
And how do I do it?
Yeah, like, cause it's hard to tell me that something worked if you still struggling.
Yeah. Like,
Which is why a lot of times it's hard to get a dude from the street to go get a job because everybody that he know with a job in his area is still struggling.
Yeah.
He watched his mama work 2 jobs to struggle. He watched his auntie work jobs to struggle. He watched his daddy, if he was around, work a couple jobs and still struggle. So he watched everybody struggle that worked the job. So that's why he don't believe in the job.
Yeah.
That's why he don't believe in it.
Yeah.
And so once they saw it, it started working for me.
That's what I believed.
Just believe.
I love that because we have mutual friends, and I remember Kiana. She was like, "Y'all need to talk to Washington."
My girl, yo.
Like she was like, "Y'all need to talk to him. He can tell you where to put your money and everything." Because when I really started making money, that's when I was like, "I've got to learn where to put it, how to invest it, how to save on tax." It's so many loopholes and so much game that we don't know. As a black community, when we start making money, the first thing we want to do is spend it, you know? And you said people don't believe you when they don't see it, but you look at some of the wealthiest people, they're not walking around looking wealthy, but they got it, you know what I'm saying? So I think we have to get out of the mindset of, okay, yeah, I believe it now because of like how you living or all those things, because sometimes you ain't got it either when you're living like that outside of your means. We live in a culture where everyone is trying to teach, have all these courses and things like that. How did you cultivate your course to make sure that people understood it's not a scam? Because there's our people out here really scamming people. How did you like really build that and say, I'm gonna keep this integral and make sure that I'm teaching people and that they get what they need out of it?
I use the same mentality that we had in the streets. It was give it away for free.
Wow. Wow.
Give it away for free. And if it's good for free, they'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Same way in the streets, like you can't, if you gonna hustle in somebody's neighborhood, if you got a new product you got, like you put testers out there. You come off the same brick. You just hear
See how they react to it.
you see how they react to it. And if it's good, you know you got something.
Wow.
And so I remember I quit the job and I was sleeping on my auntie's sofa, my Aunt Glo. And one of the things I used to do was I had this thing called the kilo pack. So this 2020. I would let people call me on a phone call for $97. And you could book a Zoom call with me for 1 hour.
Wow, the kilo pack.
The kilo pack. You would get that, and I wasn't tech savvy, so a friend of mine named Danielle, she was real tech savvy. She helped me write my first ebook.
Yeah.
So she would listen to me and say, what did you want to put in? And I write the ebook, write it. And then she said, you got to build an email list. I said, okay, let's give them the ebook then.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I need an email list, but I'm listening to her. She's like,
Yeah.
you gotta build an email list. I was like, all right, cool. Well, let's just give them the ebook then.
Yeah.
And so the kilo pack was being able to talk to me on a Zoom call and get the ebook. And when I quit the job, I was doing like 9 or 10 of those a day.
Oh, wow.
But my brain used to just hurt.
Oh my gosh, I can imagine.
It would hurt.
Yeah.
But I was being an entrepreneur, so I didn't care.
Yeah, I'm getting this
Right,
money.
I'm getting this money.
Yeah.
Like 10 of them a day, shoot, that's more than I'm making. And so I met a friend of mine, his name was Pocky from Hood Estates, and he told me something. He said, I want you to take everything that you say on those calls, because I still would record the Zooms.
Yeah.
And he said, put it in a package. And instead of doing the phone calls, give them that.
Yeah.
And then what you can do is, if you're gonna do the phone call, you can do the phone call and the course for $1,000. And so I was like, and I'm not doing the phone calls no more.
Yes.
Like, that would hurt my brain.
Yeah.
So I came up with this other product called Meet the Plug. Everything was surrounded around
That
street talk.
talk.
Everything was surrounded around street talk.
But I'm sure like people that were gravitating towards you understood and loved it.
They
Like,
understood it.
Yeah.
They loved it. And so Meet the Plug was where I would, for $3,000, I would fly to you.
Wow.
I would book a hotel room, and we would lock in for a whole day. And so I would let them see my account though, and that was the transparency.
Yes.
It wasn't that I was just teaching. I was doing exactly what I said I was doing.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think that's where a lot of people fall short at today. Is you're not doing exactly what you're telling people to do. You're teaching but not executing.
Yeah.
And so that has always been my motto, is to give away as much as I can, teach as much as I can for free, and as a byproduct of that, you'll buy whatever product and service I
That's
had.
right, yeah.
And then the product and service, I had to realize that the people who are gonna buy this are probably gonna be at the lowest level. And so what I would do is I would create something, and I felt like it was, and I don't wanna say like dumb it down, but I was like, it's still too jargonish.
Yeah.
Let me break it down again.
Break it down some more, yeah.
And so everything that I taught, I will always challenge myself to break it down, because I didn't want the language barrier to continuously be the reason why we're not doing the thing.
Yeah. And that is a lot of times we just don't get
Is it like, I don't get
It's
this, like
foreign
what
to
is it
us.
is?
Yeah.
And so all of my teaching is energetic, it's
It is.
laughter. Like in one of my videos, I actually teach with a Louis Vuitton bag. Like, you got this Louis bag, you know, and you make it, you understand our culture.
Yeah.
And so we started doing that. And then when we created the show, I told my guy Jose, I said, we gonna show the account every week. Because I realized on Wall Street, nobody was showing their account. I realized that none of the people in my space were showing their account.
Yeah.
And I said, Jose, we gonna show the account, dog.
That's what's
Win,
up.
lose or draw.
Yeah. That's what's
We
up.
gonna show the account in the options market. We gonna show the account in the buy and hold market. And so they watched me grow the account from 400,000 in 2022 to 4.5 million in 2020 to this year.
Yeah.
They watched me do it, wins and losses. They saw me make $1 million in one play. They saw me lose 500,000 in a day. But none of that mattered to me.
Yeah.
Because it was the authenticity. And we did it at a high level because what I said to people was, there are people making $5,000, $3,000, $2,000. I said, Jose, we're gonna let them see somebody make $1 million. So I wanna increase their capacity.
Yeah.
Right? And you don't have to start with what I had, but if you see me make 500,000, if you see me make 200,000, if you see me make $1 million a play, what that tells you is somebody that look like you is doing it, it's possible for you too.
Absolutely.
And so that's the authenticity around the brand.
Yeah.
Even to now, what we just did was we took a property, we took $1 million out of the stock market, went bought a building with the profits.
Wow.
The building's $5.5 million. We took $1 million out the market for the down payment. We bought the building with the stock market profits, and now the building will now offset my taxes for 2024. That's the ultimate way to play the game.
It is, yes.
But if nobody ever shows us that,
we won't know.
then we'll put a cap on what the possibilities are.
Yeah. Wow, that is so good.
And when it comes to money, there is no cap.
It's not.
We got men and women worth hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And for me, the stock market is the equalizer that makes the game attainable for us.
Yes.
My daughter, 8 years old right now. She got 7 figures in the market.
Wow.
I've been investing for her since she was 1.
Yeah.
So I bought her freedom early.
What did you do like for your daughter? Because I do want to give like some tips to,
Yeah, let's go.
If we have family members that have newborn children, how can they set their children up? Or if you have somebody, say, who has no idea about the stock market but is looking to get into it, can you give them give me one tip of like just to get started?
For if you have a kid, you need to go to Charles Schwab or E-Trade. I recommend those two, or Fidelity, and open up what's called a custodial account. And what that is, because what we'll do is, we'll say, well, I opened up my child a bank account. And we think we have done the most phenomenal thing for them. Right? Well, what happens is if you open up a bank account, that money ain't gonna do nothing for them.
Yep.
But if you open up a custodial account, you allowing their money to work for them.
Yeah.
And you become the person who controls it. And so I tell everybody the first way to create that generational, because I am not generational wealth.
Right.
My daughter is.
Yes. Ooh.
Right? Like I'm the one who is going to establish what freedom looks like. But I'm not generational wealth.
Right.
She is.
She will be,
and how it gets even further is now I have to install tools, information into her that makes it generational.
Yes.
And so you open that custodial account, but if you don't know how to start, I'm not the person to say like buy what you use, because that'll make you lose money.
See, and that's what I've heard. Look at all your products. You have Apple products.
Don't
put it in
buy
there.
what you lose.
Use Charmin.
Yeah.
Like, go put stock in Charmin. Like that's what people tell you.
The first thing I would say is if you just getting started, just buy the entire stock market just to start off. So
like
that's
a mutual fund.
Mutual funds.
No mutual. Oh, see, you teach me because I heard.
No mutual funds.
Wow.
Stay away from mutual funds. And here's why: the fees you're gonna pay with mutual funds, most mutual funds underperform the stock market, which means they don't give you the same return as the stock market does.
Wow.
But yet the people you are still paying the fees for underperformance. Right?
Yep.
You're still paying the fees for underperformance.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna do that, why not just buy the entire S&P 500, which is VOO or SPY? That's just keeping it not complicated.
Yeah.
Let's just start there.
Okay.
And then let's say, however much you get paid, let's make this automated. So every week or every time you get paid, let's just start with 10%. Or whatever you're getting paid, this is my freedom account. This is my freedom fund.
I like that.
Right? Now it has meaning to it.
Right.
So you say, okay, every time I get paid, I'm putting 10% when I get paid into this S&P 500. So now I'm not paying a broker. I'm not paying a fund manager. I'm not paying a financial advisor. I'm paying myself.
Yeah. That's a good tip.
I'm paying myself.
I love that.
We start there.
Yeah.
We don't gotta go far.
Yeah.
What happens is you'll see somebody like me and be like, I won't get where I trap at. This has been a journey, fam.
Yeah. Right. I didn't just start here.
I ain't just like you. You're watching me as a polished product.
Yeah.
But through the losses, and I always say there's information in the losses. So there's so much information I learned in the losses to make me better, and I was all in on it.
Yeah.
I knew that this would change my life. I knew that this would change my family.
Yeah.
For the last 3 Christmases, I've rented a mansion in Orlando and took my whole family there.
Wow.
They there for 5 to 7 days, and I take 1 day to teach them financial literacy.
Really?
Every time I make the post, it go viral.
That's so dope.
It's about 8 or 9 of them in there, because you gotta realize we all come from the slums.
Yeah.
So if we in a house that got 17 rooms, they ain't never seen that.
No. Yeah.
They in a room where they got their own bed.
Yeah.
Most of them coming from beds where we in the bed, you on this side, I'm on this side. They got their own bathroom, they got their own shower, they got a chef, they got a bowling alley, a movie theater. They ain't never seen nothing like this.
Exposure is so important.
They got a big old pool the size of Six Flags in the backyard.
Yeah.
So what happens is that environment made it easy for them to learn.
Yeah.
Because when they're looking at it, they're like, how you got this? I'm glad you asked that. Let's talk about some
Let's
money.
talk about it, yeah.
So it was the exposure.
That's
And I'm not
amazing.
saying everybody everybody can't start there, but that was easier than saying, let's get on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is if you're in that beginning stage, let's start with the Zoom call.
Yeah.
Let's start when we get with each other around Christmas and New Year's and Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I tell everybody in my community, that's the perfect time to have that conversation. But everybody ain't gonna listen. But you know you got that one cousin that you jam with.
Yes. It's like, no, y'all, we need to pay attention.
Let's pay attention.
Yeah.
And so that's the way you start into it. You know, you start with that. And then you can say, okay, let's look at the products that are, here's the easy way. If you go look at the top 10 richest people in the world, they all are rich, wealthy, because they have ownership of stock in the companies that they own. So think about Elon Musk, right? So he has Tesla, but Tesla alone didn't make him a billionaire. It's because he owns so many shares of Tesla.
Tesla, yeah.
So if you want to know where to start at, go look at the top 10 richest people in the world and find out what the companies that they own, and then buy stock in their companies. That's something they ain't never heard before.
I ain't never heard that.
That's something they ain't never heard before.
I like that.
You feel me?
Pay attention. Wow.
So if you go look at the top 10 richest people in the world, you're going to see Jeff Bezos, that's Amazon. You're going to see Elon Musk, that's Tesla.
Yeah.
You're going to see Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway. You're going to see Mark Zuckerberg, that's Meta. You're going to see Larry Ellison, that's Oracle. So you can go look at the top 10 richest, Larry Page, that's Google. You can go look at the top 10 richest people in the world. They ain't up there for no reason.
Yeah.
And go say, okay, which one of these have companies on the stock market? Guess what? I want to buy this company, this. You can start there.
Yeah. I love that, Trap.
That's
cute.
Come
That's
on.
so good. I love it. I love
on.
it. Thank you. So I want to know what is next for Trap. You just bought this building.
Yeah.
We're gonna work on a movie.
We gonna
about
work
your
on
life.
the movie. Okay.
What else we got going on?
So first, it's growing spiritually.
Yeah.
Because every time I see a new realm that I'm getting into, I know I need more guidance.
Yeah.
So for me, it's growing spiritually first, and then taking this building. So we're gonna call the building a Freedom Center.
Beautiful.
And the goal behind that is to revolutionize the way that people experience financial literacy. That's important. And then what we want to do, my goal behind that is to turn that into putting one of those in every hood. So from Atlanta, the next one I want to do is in New Orleans, and then Houston, and then Dallas. So my goal is to have a Freedom Center in every hood in America.
That's beautiful.
To make financial literacy accessible. And I have this saying, if you allow them to feed you, you give them permission to starve you. And we cannot afford to give people the ability to starve us.
That's real. That is real.
We have a presidential election up, and I always say, like, no matter who your political view is, that's your opinion.
Yeah.
But nobody cares more about your money than you.
That's so true.
Nobody cares more about your family's financial stability than you.
Yeah.
And so you have this obligatory nunction to make sure your family good.
Yeah. That's it. Yes.
That's it. So we won't do that. And then the next thing is, the goal is to create a book
Yeah.
You know, we want to write a book. And then I want to be a husband, man.
So what are you looking for? What are you looking for in a woman?
So I think for me, right now I'm not dating,
Okay.
but I'm pursuing a woman.
Okay. All right, we got the exclusive here.
I'm
He's not dating, but he's pursuing.
but I am pursuing.
Okay.
And I'm figuring out how that looks.
That's beautiful. I love that.
You know, I'm figuring out how that looks from patience, from understanding, from communication. Because what happens is you can be this successful man and you can say, yep, I'm at the top of the food chain. The world is my oyster.
Yeah, that's how most men think.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you can say, let me work on myself. Let me get myself right. And then let me find a woman and let me pursue her, court her, date her.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then see where that goes. And so right now I am in a situation where this woman, before, she made me feel safe, and I had never felt that before. And I went through a phase where I told her, I can't love you. I don't have it in me.
Yeah.
So I went to therapy for a year, and I worked on myself, and I went to getting this spiritual fulfillment from men that are married.
That's key.
Right?
Yeah.
And I've been just a student to men who are honoring their wives, because I come from an environment where I never saw that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And so I'm asking all the questions. And so I made a decision after I went to Italy.
Yes. I love that you've been traveling.
And I said, all right, Trap, we do not need to be traveling across this country
Alone.
You
know?
This is not it.
Listen, no, I get it, because I've been traveling
You've been
to
going
Europe
crazy.
since like 2017.
Yeah.
And I haven't had anyone, like a significant other that I could experience that with. And you get to a point you're like, dang, like, this would be really dope to experience with someone else. Yeah, no,
Right?
I feel you, yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I had a situation where I think it was amazing, and I said, I really love that woman, but I didn't know how to express it.
But now you do.
I said, so now let me try to go back and right my wrong. Because it wasn't that I like messed with women or nothing on her. I just didn't, emotionally I wasn't available. I was on some get this money.
Yeah.
And so
and there are seasons for that.
And there are seasons for it.
Yeah.
And so, but she just made me better as a man. She made me better. She's a woman that has standards. She was like, yo, like, I don't feel safe emotionally here. So you gotta like do something about that. Let's talk about it. And so now that I'm better, so I've been pursuing, and we have been building, and she hasn't made it easy, as
Good
she
for
shouldn't.
you, whoever you are.
As she
That's
shouldn't.
right, yes.
And I guess her thing was, I need you to show me that you are who you say you are.
That's, yes.
Like, you have the success, cool, I get it. You're a great talker, right? But you've been that way for so long.
Yeah, I need to know.
I need to know. And so that has been so hard for me, because I'm so used to getting what I want.
When you want it.
When I want it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I leaned in on God a little more. And I said, God, this isn't just a lesson about her. This is a life lesson for me.
Yeah, wow.
Because if I'm truly going to follow you, you won't give me everything I want in the moment.
No, right.
Bet.
Yep.
And so it's like, okay. And so we've been talking, we've been dating, we've been, and I told myself that I didn't want to, if I was going to pursue her, I didn't need to engage in trying to date other women. Because I would lose focus.
Exactly, you know what you have in her.
I know what you want. And so that's where I've been at. That's where I've been at. That's where I've been at. And I I'm still a great communicator. So like I like healthy relationships with people that I communicate with. But that's what I just been pursuing.
I love that. I'm happy for you, man. Seriously, thank you for sharing. You are such a beautifully layered man.
Thank you so much.
I love all the layers of you. Thank you for your transparency and your openness and coming to share with us. I know I learned a lot. I appreciate you, and I wish you nothing but the
likewise,
best. Yes.
Likewise. And whatever I can do to, serve you and your audience,
man,
let me know. Like my mama is a huge fan. You know what I'm saying? So whatever we can do, whatever I can do, I like good people.
Yeah. Thank you.
I like good people. I like people. Like I see your journey. I see your journey, and it's amazing to see again a woman that is like, okay, this, because you can easily be like, I'm this.
Yeah.
Right? And not like when you saw me, you was like, hey, Trav. You saw my daughter, he was like, hey.
Yeah.
And so that isn't something, that energy cannot be faked. So God is doing something amazing for you.
Yeah, thank
right?
you.
And so that's the people that I want to be connected to. I want to be people who understand that they are just a resource for the bigger source.
Yes, that's it. We're vessels.
Right? And I'm a vessel. So, and I see that in you. I see you as a vessel.
Thank you.
Through your character, through who you are in real life, I see that vessel. So, man, whatever I can do, this was an honor.
Oh,
so whatever I can do, let me know. I'm here.
For sure. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming on.
Come on here.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you all so much for spending time with me today. I hope you learned some things that you can now use in life and in business. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Love Krista Renee, and you can also follow our show at Keep It Positive Sweetie. If you want to write into our Positive Outcomes listener letter, you can send us an email at keepitpositivesweetie@gmail.com. In the meantime, in between time, you guys already know what to do. Keep it positive, sweetie. I'll see you guys next time.